Here now present. Go ahead.
The first question I want to ask is why do we humans want to particularly partner? I mean, I understand that without relationship we would cease to exist because without relationship we wouldn't have any feedback about where we are internally. But and I understand from the biological perspective of you know bringing more uh, humans, uh, but in general, why do we partner?
It is all about the intensity and the speed of your evolution. And so you're born into a context of relation, you in relation to someone, to your parent, to the teacher, to a friend, to a family member, and then to someone that you choose in order to be able to have that more consistent mirror reflection. And so, besides, as you mentioned, those biological senses that you want to enjoy and explore and satisfy, it is really about the consistency and how often do you want to put yourself in the experience of similar feedback that eventually grows into different feedback. And some of the friends do that by having multiple partners throughout their physical experience. Some of them like to stick with one or with very few. And some like to not even label that as a relationship because they're in relationship with everything and everyone. And so you can pull that as wide or as narrow as you want. But the part that when you are going outside into the exploration of the physical world as you go out of your unit of your family, at some point you like the freedom and you like to explore, but you're looking also for that specific way of relating or to receiving more consistent and faster rather, and sometimes why not even intense, positively or negatively, feedback from someone. And so you get an opportunity to at all times see about your change, whether you're choosing to see the change through different people or whether you choose to see the change of you through the same person who is reflecting that back to you. Everything at all times is changing, and so are you. And sometimes you really want to open up that unconditionality and you want to open up different dimensions of your experience by saying, there's no limit to from which angle I can experience me. And so I can have some different characters coming in and out, but through this particular character that it's reflecting it back to me, that being your partner, I really get to see all of the characters that I am as I am consistently changing through this constant that I have in front. And so it goes both ways, and that's why usually it's not either or. It's usually a very loving mix of the consistency or in interacting with certain relationships, whether they're romantic or not, or less frequency based off of what you're getting out of each interaction with each of the people.
So some people are, for example, wouldn't commit to what's considered traditional life partner relationship because maybe they are afraid that they gonna lose their freedom. I've discovered through my relationship with Costa that actually I have more freedom, and I would like you to expand on that and maybe even describe the differences. I mean, there is only one freedom, but meaning
we'll give you the wider perspective on this.
Yes.
And this wider perspective on this is that if you say that you have absolute freedom in being non-physical, and you come into the physical place with some kind of boundary, with some kind of condition, it's safe to say that you're always going to have some kind of condition. When you have some kind of boundary within you, or put the boundary around you, you are your physical you and someone is their physical them. And so from that perspective, you are this freedom who's chosen to have some kind of a bondage in your physical world, to have a very specific angle from which you want to observe. And so you come from this place to experience that freedom within the very specific angle of your perception. And so that is the case with every relationship too.
I see. I see. And what would you say to those who are looking to manifest a life partner and maybe feel a little bit frustrated, disappointed, or anxious that it's not happening yet?
Would remind that clarity about what you want starts everything, but then also not to forget about those few little things that will keep the ball rolling. In other words, even with the perfection of finding a partner in that specific moment, that everything, that you both meet criteria from one another, there'll be, in the very next moment, there will be something new that will cause you to expand. And so whatever criteria you're feeling that you want, that you have specified for yourself that you want in this experience, is just the starting point. And so you do not think about it, I found a person and now this is a never-changing love, consistent for me, and I do not have to grow, or there is nothing to worry, quote unquote, about. Of course there is nothing to worry, but there is nothing to worry because the change is always there. And so wherever you meet your partner, we say you have the opportunity to choose to which extent do you want to be expanded by from this relationship.
Yeah, and speaking about expansion, I remember during one of Viola retreats, a friend asked, I don't remember the question, but it was about manifesting a life partner. And then oftentimes, I've heard so many teachers saying, well, make a list of positive aspects, focus on that, enjoy that. But then Viola said something, and now tell me what you don't like and how you're going to react to that in your new relationship. Can you clarify a little bit more about that?
This is exactly what we just said. Let's say that all the criteria is perfectly met and there will be some kind of variance if you were to stay in relationship with this person. And so when that shows up, what would you do about it? Because it will happen. Every relationship is really between you and what you see as a reflection back to you. But when you have someone as a consistent person in a physical body, you sometimes feel like the reflections are consistently always the same, and we say they're always going to be changing because you're changing at all times. Sometimes you're clarifying something to bring up the question, sometimes you want to receive the answer. Things are changing at all times. So what we meant by look into something negative was not for you to look into something negative, it's for you to remind you that there is always going to be some kind of difference and variance that's going to cause you to expand. Otherwise, you'd rather quickly lose interest in this person.
And for those friends who maybe are in a relationship but having a reflection from their partner that is not satisfying,
We'd say read between the lines because you have an opportunity to draw from them the aspect, the angle, the version that you want. In other words, you get to experience, you are not seeing reflection because you are not as steady within you within what you want to see. So if you are buying into what you're seeing, you're buying into old news. And we say, what are the real news over there? The real news is that which you want to experience and that which you're starting to clarify within you. And when it coils up within you a little bit, at some point, you start saying, well, this is not really what's happening over here. I can see what's between the lines. I can take a little step backwards. Take a little step backwards and see what's between the lines. That this person is looking for alignment. This person is looking, in other words, to find all the things that you already like and see within this person and then emphasize them. So all the other things that you want to see in this person that it's not showing up yet can resurface because it's there. If you have an opportunity to conjure it or to receive it as an idea and as a desire, it is there already. You just have to activate it by the power of your attention.
is that why oftentimes there is even a saying like the um, I don't know how it's in English, so I'm just gonna make up, but you'll understand the context, like the chocolate period or the butterfly period in the beginning, and then suddenly it changes. Like there is a presumption that all relationships in the beginning are, um,
You're talking about a honeymoon stage.
yes,
And after the honeymoon stage, in a relationship, there comes the shock. And we say yes only if you are focused on all of those amazing things that are there ready and then expect nothing to change. In expecting nothing to change, you'd rather find a really interesting and rather quick awakening to remind you that all of those things were just a springboard, starting point for you to know more of you in the shape of that relationship.
thank you.
And for now, that's it.